morning. This past Sunday we talked about the division in our country caused by prejudice. And it seems to me that at the foundation of the answer is something that Jesus said is supposed to be the identifier of our lives. And John, his apostle, mirrored it in the letter we call 2 John. So in 2 John chapter 1, verses 5 and 6, we read, "And now, dear lady, I'm not writing you a new command, but the one that we have had from the beginning. I ask that we love one another, and this is love, that we walk in obedience to his commands. As you have heard from the beginning, his command is that you walk in love." Listen, do you know what John's referring to? He's going back to the night that he would never forget. I don't know if you have one of those or not. Something that happened that was so huge that you'll never forget where you were or who you were with. Maybe it was when JFK was shot, or when the Challenger exploded, or when the towers went down. Maybe it was when you heard the words, "Will you marry me?" or when you found out you were going to have a baby. For some of us, it may have been when we gave our lives to Christ and were baptized into him. For John, one of those moments, and truthfully, he didn't know it was going to be one of those moments until later, but it goes back to the night before Jesus is arrested and crucified. Jesus is with the 12 in the upper room, and he says this in John chapter 13, beginning in verse 34, "A new command I give you, love one another. As I have loved you, so you must love one another. By this, everyone will know that you're my disciples, if you love one another." Listen, when you read the 3 letters of John, it's obvious that this teaching became the focal point of his life and ministry, and with good reason. It's what love allows to happen. You know, genuine life transformation happens in the context of love. In a 1989 Time magazine interview with Mother Teresa, the manuscript of that conversation reveals one of the greatest descriptions of her life. Mother Teresa said, "I just want to be a pencil in the hand of God, writing a love letter to the world with my life." So John would write in 1 John 4, "Dear friends, since God so loved us, we also ought to love one another. No one has seen God, but if we love one another, God lives in us, and his love is made complete in us. No one has ever seen God, but they have seen us." 1 John 4:21, the Message version, says it this way: "The command we have from Christ is blunt. Loving God includes loving people. You've got to love both. And so here's the deal. Don't tell anyone that Jesus loves them until you're ready to love them." And what does that look like? Or in the verses we looked at initially, verse 6, to walk in love, what does that look like? Well, I walk in love when we face tough issues together, like the ones facing our country. I mentioned Sunday that this past June, as I was approached about helping with a peaceful event, and my response was, if this is about unity in our city, then yes. And we called it Build the Bridge. But I knew that if I wanted to be helpful, I actually needed to be the bridge, be part of the bridge, which means I would need to listen so I could understand. So I sat down with police officers, and I sat down with people of color, because you cannot love without seeing the other person and hearing the other person, as well as being seen and heard yourself. You know, one of my favorite passages is 1 Peter 4:8. Peter writes, "Above all, love each other deeply, because love covers over a multitude of sins." Do you know why I love that verse? It's because I do so many stupid things. And I appreciate the opportunity for a second chance, especially on an issue that we're allowing to divide us. I agree with Mother Teresa. I just want to be a pencil in the hand of God as well, writing a love letter to the world with my life. And I hope today that's kind of your decision too. And that God gives you many opportunities to actually be the pencil in writing the love letter with how you live your life today. I pray that he not only gives you the opportunities, I pray that you'll take them. I hope you have a good day.